I'm Coop. This is a video review of the Nerf Rapidstrike CS-18. I will go straight into the unboxing. Included with the Rapidstrike is the blaster itself, a transparent 18-round magazine, elite darts, and a manual. This blaster runs on 4 C batteries. I'll show you how to install those. Remove the 3 Phillips screws, which allows you to pull out the battery tray. I have the batteries in the front of the blaster as opposed to the center or the back, but I have to admit it's very nicely balanced. Following my standard review format, I'll go over the cosmetic stuff and then show you it firing. And so going over the colors, it's primarily blue and orange, as you can see, with some gray. It does not have the white elite stripe. This stripe is orange instead. I like how the colors move together, and I like how many orange pieces there are throughout the blaster. That's going to make paint jobs very cool in the future, and I think it has a very nice appearance in stock form. Go over all of the external stuff starting from the back. It does have a permanent stock. This is not removable like some of the other in-strike blasters. It only has 2 positions, which is completely open and completely closed. Although it doesn't have anything in between, its outmost position is very stable. In other blasters in the past, if you accidentally applied too much force, you would break it, and it would be very uncomfortable and kind of awkward. That's not the case for the Rapidstrike. It is very stable, and I think it looks very cool. It's not any bigger than it really has to be, and this little gray cheek piece up here is very comfortable to rest your face on while aiming. Again, that's moved by pushing in this little orange thing and then just pushing in the stock. Moving forward, there are sling mounts here and here, so if you want to add a tactical sling, go ahead. The grip in general feels just like any other in-strike grip. It's very comfortable. It feels very familiar to the Strife and all of those with the rev trigger in the lower area. It is small, but really no smaller than any other blaster like the Strife and all of those. They could be a little bit bigger, but I'm also over 6'3", so I have a very large hand. The trigger here is actually what activates the motors to actually activate the fully automatic fire, and the lower trigger is to turn on the flywheels. The orange trigger right here is actually the magazine release. That can be accessed with your left hand if you're trying to grab the magazine like that. That's sort of like an AK-47 or a G36, or you can extend your middle finger from your firing hand and just do that. The magazine is an 18-round clear magazine. Hasbro calls this a clip. I call it a magazine because if you look at the definition of both of the words, it is actually a magazine. Mag, clip, whatever. It's clear, it's pretty cool. You can see all of your ammo. I'm not a huge fan of the complete transparency because your enemies can also see how many darts you have. Regardless, it is pretty cool that Hasbro's coming out with new stuff. The transparent look is actually fascinating. Up top is the access door. Again, if this is open, you're trying to clear a jam, you can't actually turn on the blaster to make sure you don't stick your fingers into the flywheels. That's just an internal electronic lock. It is transparent with an orange tint, so you can see in there. I think that's pretty cool. And then up in here, there's actually a little eyepiece so you can see through and aim if you'd like. I don't aim that accurately when I'm using a Nerf gun because elite darts are crazy inaccurate as it is. There are tack rails all over this blaster. Up on the top, there's a rather large one right here on the side, on the identical side, and then underneath for like a foregrip, and then the top. More rail space than you could possibly actually need. Even if you don't use these rails, I think they look really cool, and I'm glad Hasbro put them in because similar to the Stampede where there are just excess rails everywhere, it makes it look very tactical, and for people who like adding weird stuff like flashlights and stuff like that, that's really fun. The best part is if you don't need the rail, it's not really bulky or in the way, so there's really no reason not to have it as a consumer. Going up in the front here, nothing moves up here. It's all just a tack rail and all of this, but it's very comfortable, and I think this little gray bit looks very cool. It makes it very comfortable to shoulder, and your left hand definitely has a solid place to actually plant, or right, like, of course, if you're lefty. Now moving to the tip, this little guy will actually flip up as a front sight to line up your shot. I really don't see any reason to do that, but it looks pretty cool. And there's also another sling mount up here, so if you want to have a sling running from any orientation you could think of, or just around a carry handle if you really wanted. And to the tip, this is compatible with in-strike front attachment, so if you want to put on a recon barrel extension, a Spectre thing, to make it look cooler, those things only reduce range, but it will look pretty sweet, so go ahead and do that. It'll go on just like any other in-strike blaster. And of course the batteries are housed up in the front, which I showed you how to install already. It takes 4 C-style batteries, which is great. This is compared to the Stampede, which required 6 D batteries, which is way heavier because there's obviously 2 extras. This runs on 4, that ran on 6, and C batteries are lighter than D batteries. So it's very lightweight compared to the Stampede. And it's also different because the weight is up in the front of the blaster as opposed to the Stampede, which was in the very back. So if you ever picked up a Stampede, it just wanted to do this all the time. This makes it very comfortable because I feel it's easiest to balance this entire blaster on your front hand right here, and that's pretty much where the bulk of the weight is. The center of gravity is roughly in the center of the blaster here, so it's very easy to shoulder and it's very comfortable. So I will show you the blaster firing. That's the firing test. I won't have a range test up for a while since my tape measure's packed away, and honestly I haven't really cared about ranges in a while. I can see from the initial velocity it's firing along the same lines as other Elite blasters, but just to reiterate, it is along the same lines as all of the other Elite blasters. Most Nerf guns shoot about the same range. My opinion of this blaster is extremely high. Since the Strife came out, I was pretty much thinking to myself, nothing else can beat this except a fully automatic Strife. And this is what that is. It's amazing. It's flywheel, so I'm going to be able to crank up the voltage and actually propel those darts a whole lot faster. And fully automatic is so cool because that's the only improvement you could really have on the Strife. I'm very excited to mod this. Everything about this blaster is actually very nice. I really like the feeling of it. I really don't want to change any of the externals or integrate anything because the balancing of this blaster is just superb. Of course, I will eventually be doing external mods. I purchased this blaster from Walmart.com for a little under $40 US per. I actually bought 4 of them because they are not supposed to be released until September something. So I went ahead and bought 4 because I wasn't sure if the Walmart website was having a mistake and Hasbro might get upset at them for selling them too early, so I just went ahead and bought them all, or bought 4. I will post a link in the description box below to the website where you can buy them, Walmart.com. They're also on Amazon right now, but that's for a pre-order, so watch that fine print because it won't ship to you until September. Overall, for the $40 US I paid for it, I could not think of anything to change with this blaster. I'm extremely happy with it. I bought 4 of them. I'll be modifying, painting them, and selling them, and doing all sorts of fun stuff to them, including a modification tutorial and overviews as usual. But overall, even in stock form, I'm very happy with the blaster. Of course, it doesn't shoot as hard as I'd like, but I mod, so I can't really say any stock gun is to my standards. But if you're looking for a fully automatic blaster to fire Elite darts, I would not look any further. This absolutely destroys the Stampede. It's sort of its successor, even though it's flywheel, it's still fully automatic magazine fed. So this is probably going to be my new favorite Nerf gun. The Strife was the previous, but now fully automatic Strife. No complaints there. So that concludes the review of the Nerf Elite Rapidstrike CS-18. Leave a comment if you have any questions about the blaster. Check the description box for any information I may have missed in the video before you comment. Thanks for watching. The backlog of air pressure prior to the dart moving is what protects the plunger head and plunger tube from breaking. The air particles in front of the plunger head are compressing and adding more resistance to the